Hello friends, welcome to bispsolutions.com. My name is Sumit and I am a subject matter expert with Salesforce Solutions. At present, I am working as a Salesforce consultant with BISP and recently a new component has been released by Salesforce in the spring version 2019. Therefore, we decided to share same with you, and that component is Salesforce Lightning Web Component. So Salesforce Lightning Web Components, or you can call them as LWC, they are announced as a part of Spring 19 pre-release. So basically, what exactly a Lightning Web Component is? So those who have experienced the Lightning, Salesforce Lightning previously, they might be knowing that to create Salesforce Lightning apps, we need to create Aura applications, Aura components, and a lot of other components are required. A lot of other connectivities are required to build up a Lightning component. But Lightning Web Component is a new framework for building Lightning component. And for Lightning Web Component development, we need to set up Salesforce DX and Visual Studio Code or VS Code, as Lightning components are currently available in Developer Console. And this Salesforce Lightning components makes a simple implementation of a web component with the help of Visual Studio Code and Salesforce CLR. So in order to work with say, LWC components to develop Lightning component, we need to install Salesforce CLI and VS Code on our machine. So as you can see, I have already done that. I have already installed Visual Studio Code and Salesforce CLI. So let's begin the component. And before that, let me share you my requirement. So my requirement is very simple. I want to add a like LWC component over here on my home page, and whatever information, whatever text message I would be passing, that text based message will be displayed in the component. So let's begin the development. So first of all, I start my VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and before starting in developing the component, we need to install certain extension. We need to install the required extension. So I click on extensions, and the extensions which we required here are, first of all, we would be requiring uh, Salesforce extension pack. So Salesforce extension pack, it will search for that. SALES, Salesforce extension pack. And I have already installed the Salesforce extension pack, and it extended VS Code editor and working with development org, scratch org, sandboxes, and development org, Aura component, and Visual Forces. So I've already installed that. Then I would be requiring Lightning Web component. So Lightning Web component, and we need to search for this Lightning Web component, and this Lightning Web component package has extension has already been installed. So once we're done with the packages and all the installation, now let's start development. So first of all, we'll go to command palette, and here I would be creating a project with manifest. So I select create project with manifest, and let me give a name as BISP test BISP test LWC component, or BISP test project, for example. And I select the directory. So I would like to create a project in the same directory. So it would be creating a new project with the help of CLI integration, and a new project is created. On the left side, we can see the been added successfully. Now we need to authorize this app, because we are going to deploy the development on our Salesforce org. So we need to authorize it. And for authorization, I just select SFDC, SFDX authorize and org, and for authorization, I'll just write BISP ORGAUTH authorization, and with the help of Salesforce CLI integration, it will take us to the for authorization, and let me log in, and that's my login details. So I just use my credentials and I just enter password, and if it asks for the confirmation or for accessing the services, just click on yes. I have already give permissions, so it won't ask me, it won't ask permission from me. But in your case, when you will be doing it very first time, it will ask you, it will take permission from you to authorize this Salesforce org to Visual Studio Code, to VS Code. And as you can see, the authorization has been done successfully. Authorization and org successfully ran, and the authorization has already been done, and the authorization has been ended successfully. So basically, new manifest package.xml and authorization has been done successfully. Now, our next objective is to create a web component. And in order to create a web component, I again click on View, Command Palette, and I select Create Lightning Web Component, and I give name as BISP Test WC, Lightning Web Component. Enter. So first of all, it asks for a desired directory. So I would like to create a Lightning Web component in LWC. So I select LWC, and that's the name. So BISP LWC BISP custom LWC component and enter. So it will create a new Lightning Web component in this directory LWC, and you can see in LWC a new component has been added. So like this, we can add multiple components in a single directory. So this is one component. We can add multiple components, and as you can see, when we add a component, three files are added along with that. First one is the HTML, second one is the meta.xml, and third one is the JS. JS is a scripting file where we would be writing our logic. HTML is the template where we would be designing, and meta XML is the XML format of that particular file. So first of all, let me design the component, and in order to design that component, I'm going to create a component here, and I'm taking help of this lightning card. So I'll just take help of lightning card, and I just set title as test component. If you want to give any icon, so we can give icon name is equal to custom custom 14, and we added a new lightning card. This lightning card, I want to create a division. So basically, we can add style sheets also. So I just create a division, and I give a name as class. Division class is equal to SLDS M around medium. So that's a name, that's a class, and I'm just creating a paragraph, and I'll just say welcome, or let's say welcome, and I would like to get input from user. So whatever input entered, whatever input given by user, that I would like to display here. So what a name user enter, that I would like to replace with this greeting. So those who are familiar with Visual Force and Apex classes, they might be knowing this is the way or those who have worked with Aura component, they might be knowing this value will be replacing. We can write a logic to replace this value with a custom value or with a static value. So I just write it, and I need one input label, basically lightning lightning input. So basically that's an input. User can enter value to this. So label is equal to enter name, and we are going to bind it with value is equal to greeting. On change is an event, and we would be going to create a change handler for that. So we are going to work with a change handler, and change handler slash uh, change handler. So this is value is equal to greeting input, lightning input, label is equal to name, value is on greeting, on change, and slash lightning input. So this is the way we created one lightning. This is a simple lightning component. This is a card, and but what's the logic? Because on change event, we need to assign a new value to this. Whatever user input into this greeting, that would be replaced over here. So first of all, let me save this, and now we need to write the custom code. So one thing we need to do it, we need to use a tracking for this. So we use a track. So basically we would be tracking LWC with the help of Lightning Web component. And here I write at the rate track, and I would be tracking greeting. Greeting is equal to by default value as. So what will happen here? This uh, So in this lightning component, that's a variable greeting. So basically we are handling this value. So we initialize this value as a default value. This is like getter and setter method in Apex classes. So, and I'm creating a change handler because we are going to call this change handler event. So I'm going to define this change handler event. So I just define a change handler, and it's an event here. It's an event, and I'm just going to set the default value, or you can say the custom value, the newly added value. So event dot target dot, so greeting is equal to event dot target target dot value. So this dot greeting is equal to event dot target dot value, and we close this. Let's save this now. Save this. Now we need to give permissions that where are we going to display this component, where this component can be added. So first of all, I just expose I set as is expose is set as true. So I'm going to set this as true here so that it would be available for all of them. And now I would like to set the targets where we can display this slash targets, and within targets we need we would like to show this in three places. And what are the three places? I would like to add this on an app page or a record page and a home page. So these are the places where this component can be added. So this component can will be available or at these three locations. Now once we done with this, let me save this. sorry, let me save it or save all. And now finally, once we're done with this, we are going, I'll click on default, right click, and I say deploy source to org. So now the deployment will deployment from source to organization or to our Salesforce org is started. And once it is done, once it is completed successfully, it will display a message that the component has been displayed successfully and a new component has been added. And that's the location, that's the project path where this, that's the project path and the component we have added successfully. Now let's go and check. In order to add component on home page, I click on edit page. So let me refresh this. And one more thing, to display the component on your home page, first of all, you need to create a domain. So as you can see, it's not showing the standard Salesforce path. It is showing a domain. So I have enabled domain in my Salesforce org. So let me refresh it once again. An app here, and as you can see, I'm on my sales app right now, and I would like to add my component on my sales app. So I click over here, click on edit page, and now the component which we have added just now, that component will be available under component section. So custom component section. So I would be going to add that drag and drop that component onto home page. And let's look for the component. These are standard components. These all are standard components. And the component which we added just now, that's a BISP custom LWC component. So I drag and drop this component and just add it near to assistant. And as you can see, a new component is added as a test component. I just save this and make sure to activate it, because I've already activated this page already. So that's why it's not asking me to activate. But if you are doing it very first time, you need to activate that. And finally, once you saved it successfully, click on back